Okay, just imagine this for a second. You're in a championship series, and you're down 8-1. Your opponent? They only need one more win. You, on the other hand, you need to win 8 straight races just to stay alive. I mean, it sounds completely impossible, right? Well, today, we are talking about a story that has it all. Insane high-tech sailing, a huge cheating scandal, and what just might be the single greatest comeback in the history of sports. Let's get into it.
So the real star of this story isn't a person, it's this machine right here. This is the AC-72 catamaran. It's a 72-foot carbon fiber beast with a rigid wing sail that's literally the size of a jumbo jet's wing. These things weren't just boats. No, they were flying machines, designed to push the absolute limits of what was physically possible on water.
All right, so let's set the scene. The stage is the 34th America's Cup in September 2013, held right in the beautiful San Francisco Bay. And this event, well, it was about to completely change what everyone thought they knew about sailboat racing, and it was all thanks to this radical new boat design. Now, the secret sauce that made all of this possible is a technology called foiling. You can see the basic idea right here. These dagger boards, or hydrofoils, they act just like airplane wings, but underwater. So as the boat gets faster, the foils generate enough lift to raise the two massive hulls completely out of the water, which basically eliminates all the drag. Think of it like this. It's the difference between dragging a cinder block through the water and skipping a stone right across the surface.
And what was the result of all that amazing tech? Just mind-bending speed. These AC-72s could hit more than 40 knots. That's almost 50 miles per hour. To put that in perspective, that's nearly 3 times faster than the speed of the wind that was powering them. It was unlike anything anyone had ever seen before in the America's Cup. Just incredible.
So this brings us to our two main competitors, our two gladiators, if you will. On the left, we've got the American Defender, Oracle Team USA, backed by the tech billionaire Larry Ellison. And on the right, the challenger, Emirates Team New Zealand, a country with such a deep and passionate sailing history. They had absolutely dominated the Challenger Series to get here.
But you know, this epic showdown had a huge twist before the first race even started. The defending champs Oracle Team USA, they got caught up in a cheating scandal, and it put them at a disadvantage that seemed, for all intents and purposes, completely insurmountable. Here's what went down. An international jury found Oracle guilty of illegally modifying their smaller AC-45 training boats during a warm-up series. Turns out they had put bags of lead pellets in the king posts just to add extra weight. And the punishment? It was harsh. A massive fine, 3 team members got kicked out of the event, and, this is the most critical part, a 2-point penalty. They were literally starting the series in a hole. So let's break down what that penalty really meant. The America's Cup is a first-to-9 wins series. So Team New Zealand, they needed to win 9 races. Simple enough. But because of that penalty, Oracle Team USA now had to win a staggering 11 races to defend the cup. They were basically starting with a score of -2. The mountain they had to climb was enormous. And as the racing began, the Kiwis from New Zealand showed everybody why they were the favorites. I mean, they weren't just winning, they were absolutely dominating. They pushed the American team right to the very brink of a completely humiliating defeat. For the entire first week, the New Zealand boat Aotearoa was just plain faster. Their crew work was flawless. They were outsailing Oracle at pretty much every turn, just racking up win after win. The American dream of defending the cup on home waters? Yeah, that was quickly turning into an absolute nightmare. And this scoreboard really shows just how bad the situation was for Oracle. Race after race, the Kiwis just pulled further and further ahead. By September 18th, the writing was on the wall. New Zealand had stormed their way to 8 victories, while Oracle had only managed to scrape together a single win. 8-1. New Zealand was on match point. They needed just one more win to go home with the America's Cup. For Oracle, the situation was beyond desperate. They had to win the next 8 consecutive races. To be clear, no team in the Cup's 162-year history had ever come back from a deficit like this. It was over. And then, something shifted. With their backs completely against the wall, facing elimination every single day, Oracle Team USA started to fight back. And they began what would become the single greatest comeback the sport has ever seen. Day after day, Oracle somehow staved off defeat. They made these crucial adjustments to the boat, and they learned to foil upwind, a trick the Kiwis hadn't quite mastered, and that dramatically increased their speed on key parts of the course.
Their crew started performing with this newfound perfection. They won a race, then they won another one. And suddenly, the impossible started to feel, well, maybe, just maybe, possible.
Just look at this timeline. It shows the incredible pressure they were under. For a solid week, New Zealand sat on match point, just one race away from glory. And every single day, Oracle denied them. From 8-1, they clawed back to 8-2, then 8-3. By September 24th, they won 2 races to do the completely unthinkable, tie the series at 8 wins apiece.
And this quote from Oracle's fiery Australian skipper Jimmy Spithill, it just perfectly captures the team's mindset. I mean, while the rest of the world had totally written them off, their belief in themselves never wavered. They were riding this incredible wave of momentum, and now all the pressure had completely shifted to the New Zealanders, who were just watching their massive lead evaporate before their eyes. So, it all came down to this. September 25th, 2013. One final race. After 18 grueling races, the score was tied 8-8. The entire America's Cup, after all the drama, the penalty, the comeback, was going to be decided in a single winner-take-all showdown on San Francisco Bay. And you know what? Oracle actually trailed at the start of the race, but then came that crucial upwind leg. They unleashed that superior foiling technique they had perfected under all that pressure, and they literally lifted their boat to a higher speed. They overtook New Zealand, sailed a nearly perfect race from there, and crossed the finish line 44 seconds ahead. They had done it. They had won their 8th consecutive race to win the America's Cup 9-8.
Just to recap how absolutely wild this was, New Zealand needed 9 wins and got to 8. Oracle started 2 points in the hole, had to win 11 races on the water, and they stared down match point 8 different times without ever flinching. Just unbelievable.
So I think the key takeaway here is this incredible story of resilience against what really seemed like impossible odds. It was a victory of technology, sure, but also adaptation and just sheer willpower, which really leaves us with one final question to think about. Was the 2013 America's Cup the greatest comeback in the history of sports?